Hello and welcome to my SmallRig Nikon Z8 L Bracket review and why I think you have to have an L bracket on your camera. This is huge. So come on, let's get into it and I'll tell you all about it. So this is the SmallRig L Bracket for the Nikon Z8. It's model 3942. So let's pop the box open and I'll show you what you get inside firstly. So on opening the box, very straightforward, basically plastic bag with the L bracket. No surprises there. There's also a small Allen key there too as well. So why do you have to have an L bracket for your Nikon Z8? Well, in all honesty, I believe there's a number of different reasons for this. Firstly, the added protection. Yes, it is an added bonus that your camera's protected on two sides now with a solid metal structure via the L bracket itself. Now, the second thing with it is it's going to give you far more stability when you use it in a tripod, because obviously enough, you've got a big rubber pad here, you've got your locking bolt here, and you've got an anti-twist pin here too as well, which is going to sit into the bottom of the camera, which is going to stop the camera moving. That's two advantages. The third advantage then is you can very quickly swap between shooting horizontally to shooting vertically, because obviously enough, yes, this has an Arca Swiss mount both in horizontal orientation and in vertical orientation. So that's really cool. But let's pop it onto the camera and I'll show you the other added advantages. So I quickly just turn the camera over, pop the L bracket down, and what we do is the little key then for locking and unlocking is actually in here. It's held in place with magnets and it slides in so it can't be bumped out. So I pop it into place and I just turn this quickly. Takes about 3 to 4 turns, but it should be tightening up there now. Yep, there we go. So that's tight. And that is locked on completely solid. Now, one of the first things I will look at in an L bracket is, firstly, how well does it fit to the camera? Secondly, is it interfering with the grip? And thirdly, how accessible are all the ports? So looking at the side ports, that is absolutely perfect. That is made for that camera. So you can very easily get access to all the side ports. So that's that part passed. The second thing then is the battery. And this is a slightly unusual one. There's a little part here that hinges out, so you can actually open the battery door. You can see that. If that didn't hinge out, then you would not be able to open the battery door. The battery door can't physically open. So that just hinges back, open out your battery door, and you pop out your battery very, very simply. Pop it back into place, close the battery door, hinge that back again, and you're good to go. The grip, it's added a small bit extra grip to the camera too as well, which is nice. So it means there's a small bit more here on your palm, adding a bit more support to the grip of the camera. As regards weight, it's quite lightweight, so it's not adding a lot of weight to your camera. So that's another positive. So what are the other advantages, Kieran? You said there's a lot of advantages with this. And what I absolutely love about this L bracket is it's completely compatible with the DJI RS2 and the RS3 gimbals. So I have my RS2 gimbal here. I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to release the plate here now. So what basically happens is this just slides on and then I can just tighten it in place and then pop it back up along here and away we go. Just being able to pop that onto the RS2 or RS3 in seconds is so incredibly handy. With some of the other L brackets, you actually have to take the L bracket off and then fit on this specific adapter so you can actually pop it onto the RS2 or RS3. Whereas this just fits on perfectly straight away. So that is huge and well done, SmallRig. I absolutely love that. You don't have to worry about it falling off because it has the locking point here too as well. Even if I release that, it actually won't come off until I press the release button. So that is really cool. You can actually hear it physically locking in place. Really nicely done, SmallRig. One of the reasons why I love L brackets, the fact that you can actually move out the side plate. So when you're shooting in vertical orientation, you can get access to your connections. That's the thinking behind that. But one of the reasons why I love that is, if I'm out taking photographs and let's say I see something really cool or the client turns around and says, oh, could we grab a short video? Rather than popping on a camera cage and putting on a side handle and all the rest of it, what I'll do is I'll just extend that out long and I'll use this as my side handle. So if I'm shooting like that, it gives me far greater control than trying to hold the camera and going like this. So that is going to give me far more fluid control and greater control for shooting video. So it actually has a side handle built in. And if you look at it, even the way it molds around your hand is really cool. And I've got enough space in there to fit my hand in comfortably. It's very easy to just pop back in line again. I can just open that screw, slide it back down along and tighten it up and pop this back in line again, and that's it, we're done. You can also mount additional accessories onto this L bracket too as well. You've got a number of 1/4" and 3/8" mounting holes there, and you also have them on the side here too as well. Now you might well say, what would you ever want to put on them? But if you want to put on mic accessories, you wanted to put on a cold shoe adapter, you want to do anything like that, you can actually screw them on. But one of the things I use in this is quite interesting. This is the SmallRig L bracket I had for my Nikon Z7 Mark II, and I love this L bracket into as well. And one of the reasons I loved it was for these spring clips I actually bought. I can't even think of the proper name for them. I'll put it down below here. Now you might very well ask, what's the point of having these on the side of your camera, Kieran? Well, let me just show you. What I tend to do is I tend to do a lot of commercial photography. So if I'm shooting tethered to a laptop, I will have my tethering cable here. So let's just say that's hanging along the ground. And if I plug that straight into the USB socket, it is going to put, as that cable is moving, that is going to put a lot of strain on that socket, which is going to break the socket after a while. But what I do is I use that clip to actually hold the USB cable in place. So when I'm shooting tethered now, when I twist and turn my camera, all the strain is off the cable and all the strain is off the socket. So that helps the socket, obviously enough, to last a lot longer. And even if you tug on the cable, it's not going to pull on the socket. Always my fear being is you tug on the cable and you'd break the socket. So having the option of those mounting holes is incredibly handy. You have your nodal point markings both here and here. Now, what are nodal point markings? Nodal point markings are basically telling you is that is exactly where the center of your sensor is, both in the vertical mount and in the horizontal mount. So when you pop your camera directly onto your tripod, let's say you're shooting a panoramic shot now, which is one of the reasons why you'd buy an L bracket, you'd pop this directly over the center point of your camera or of your tripod, so you can then shoot your panoramic shot and your sensor isn't really, now it is twisting, but it's not moving. Let's say if I have my camera on a ball head here now, and if I turn my camera to the side on a ball head tripod, and if I then fire off my shots, you can actually see how much the camera sensor is shifting in relation to the image. It's actually moving like that. Whereas if you put it on the actual vertical orientation on the tripod with the L bracket, what'll actually happen is it'll spin on the nodal point, the center point of the tripod, and the sensor won't shift. So it'll be a lot easier to knit your images together afterwards. So that's basically what a nodal point is. So you can actually see that's quite clearly marked here and here. So that's a handy little feature. So this is a hidden little feature on this L bracket, and it's something I haven't heard anyone talking about as of yet, and it's something I didn't even know existed. And it was only when I was researching camera brackets or L brackets that I saw this facility called a QD mount, and I was thinking, what the heck is a QD mount? Never heard of it before. So I'm probably living under a rock, and maybe you all know of a QD mount, but I just never heard of a QD mount for a camera strap before. And I was thinking, what the heck is it? On doing a bit of research, I found that this is actually quite common for a lot of guns. And yes, I did say guns, and no, I don't use guns, but it's quite common, and it's a quick deploy mount. So the general thinking being is, you can actually pop it in here, and it actually clips into place. You could press a button on the back, and release it. I'm going to show you a picture of it here now so you can actually see what it physically looks like. And you can see there's 4 little ball bearings that actually, when you pop it in, it clips into place because there's a little ring intake inside there too as well. They clip into place and it won't come out until you press the button on the back and then pull it out. So the general thinking being is you have a very secure connection holding your camera in place, but you can also quickly deploy or quickly disconnect it if you want to. Crazy, you learn something new every day, but that is a very cool little feature to have. So are you going to buy an L bracket for your Nikon Z8? And if you are, which one are you going to buy? Now, the one thing I will advise against is buying a universal L bracket. You can go ahead and you can buy the SmallRig 3942 if you want. I highly recommend it, by the way. Is there another one out there that you're looking at and that you're saying, oh my God, I love that one? One of the reasons personally why I tend to go with a lot of the SmallRig products, I just find them so consistently good over the years. From everything I've bought from them, between matte boxes, magic arms, follow focus units. I must have 20 or 30 of their products at this stage, and there isn't one of them that I've said, that's a disaster. The build quality has been A1, the price has been really, really good, and again, this is just another one that there are so many features, just in a simple little L bracket. There's so many lovely little features in this which I think separate it from everything else. And it's one of the reasons why I genuinely do think if you are going to buy one, you should buy the SmallRig 3942 bracket. But let me know, are you going to buy a different one? So thanks again for watching everyone, and see you out there, and see you in the next video.